Hello everyone. I want to talk about taking up space today. When I was really young, I had a really hard time making eye contact with people, like anybody. I had a hard time making eye contact with my siblings. I had a really shy personality. And if you follow any of my videos or my story at all, I came from a very abusive childhood. And so I was basically trained from a young age to believe that I wasn't really supposed to be anywhere. I didn't belong anywhere, and I didn't feel that like wantedness that kids should feel. And I constantly struggled taking up space. And the concept of taking up space is very simple. Even in making eye contact, you are leaving your space that your body is in and joining someone else's space. That's what eye contact is, and that's what conversation is, and that's what listening is taking up space. I had such a hard time with taking up space that I even held myself very tight. I held myself in very tight, and I kept my head down, and I was very quiet. I didn't let my voice go very far out of my space. And I had a really hard time with touch. I didn't like other people touching me, and I certainly didn't like touching other people. And the older I got, I continued kind of learning that about myself and trying to understand where some of those discomforts came from and what they meant, and then how to address them. I took some communications classes while I was in college, just for the fun of it. And they were really difficult for me because I had to not only speak to a bunch of classmates I didn't know right from the get-go, first day in class, but you had to learn how to communicate effectively. And a lot of that is making eye contact. A lot of that is holding yourself openly. We learned about body language and how important it is to be open. And that's just another form of taking up space. And I love it now. It's still hard for me. I still have those roots that are there, and it's something that I kind of keep an eye on regularly. But it's a beautiful thing to learn to take up space and to learn to share space with others. And it's something that, because I struggled so much with it and because I was so determined to overcome that, I see it in other people and I understand it. And I think that there are a lot of people that don't understand why they feel that way, and they don't understand that taking up space is something that not everybody is taught from a young age, and some people are, and that's wonderful. If you are one of those people that struggles taking up space, I would start with making eye contact, even just with loved ones. And it starts rough. For me, making eye contact isn't always something that I can do for a long period of time. And if you have a loved one in your life or a really good friend that you can practice this with, tell them about it. Tell them that you have a hard time making eye contact, or tell them that you have a hard time with touch, or whatever it is that you notice that you struggle with, and just practice it and have someone there to trust that can hold you accountable and kind of point it out to you, and not only where you're falling short in that way, but to appreciate when you're doing well with it. Because if people don't know that you're working on it, then they're not going to notice that you're doing better. But it really helps overcoming that when you have someone that can be like, hey, I noticed that you're making eye contact more, and I'm really proud of you. You need someone like that in your life. So I would say, if you're struggling with that type of connection, find somebody that can be a support to you and start working on it today. Start working on something little like making eye contact, or even something as simple as touching someone's arm when you're joking around. It's a really simple, and I understand it's difficult sometimes, but it's a really simple way to connect with somebody on a little bit of a deeper level when you're talking, or when you're connecting and joking around, or building any kind of bond with people in your life. Some other really good ways to build that connection and to learn to take up space is watching your body language throughout the day. So if you have a habit of crossing your legs and crossing your arms, that's one of those things that your body listens to. If that makes sense, you're actually sending your body messages of what your worth is. And For ladies, crossing your ankles is so much better than crossing your legs, and you can still have that femininity that you may be looking for, and you can still, keep your dress closed. I get that. But it is so important that you send those messages to your body of your confidence, not only the confidence that you have right now, but the confidence that you want to achieve. Holding your body open isn't just a mental thing. It's actually a physical and scientific way of healing and opening your body and your consciousness. There's something called the psoas muscle, which is in your pelvic area, your, what do they call it? I can't think of the word. Anyway, there's a lining of muscles in your pelvic area. And the psoas muscle is one of those critical muscles that if it's constantly cramped up, it sends a message up your spine and to your mind, and you release stress hormones. And so if you find yourself anxious a lot or stressed a lot, then practicing this openness in your body, especially in keeping your legs uncrossed and even sitting up straight instead of hunching, will not only open your presence and help you connect with others, but it actually helps release stress levels. So if you want more information about that, I've done a lot of reading on it and I'm still learning a lot about it. There's a lot of scientists and therapists that are studying the psoas muscle and studying body language and how it affects your stress levels and how it affects how you connect with others, and especially how you connect with yourself. So these are just some tips that were on my mind today. It's something that a lot of people struggle with. So if you are struggling with openness and taking up space, you are not alone. It is a huge, very common thing to struggle with this. And it's so important that you learn now, today, to start addressing that and to teach your mind that you can be open to others around you, that you deserve to take up space, and that you are worth so much. It's time to connect.